In order to optimize your credit card points, you need to understand that not all points are the same. Let's take a look at the main three types of points and how they differ. The first type is airline points or miles. You can earn these points by flying on the airline or by spending money on one of their co-branded credit cards. In this situation, the value of your points does not have a set value. Instead, the airline determines the value based on the flight that you're trying to book. Let's take a look at an example. Here is a Delta flight going for 110,000 sky miles and $5.60. We can compare that to the cash flight. The cash flight is going for $1,205. Using this formula, you can see the value that you're getting for your sky miles. First, you take the cash price of the ticket, which in this case is $1,205. Then you subtract the fees that you're paying, which is $5.60, which leaves just about $1,200 left. You take that value and you divide it by the amount of sky miles or points you're using. Once you divide it, you times that number by 100. And then you can see you're getting 1.09 cents per point. We use this term cents per point to evaluate the value of our points that we use. In this circumstance, the value is determined by delta and could change per each flight that you looked at based on demand. The second main type of point is bank points. These type of points have a set value by the bank and do not generally have any allegiance to any specific airline. When considering bank points, the set value average is about 1 cent per point. Although some banks use higher metrics for evaluating them, the average is 1 cent. So for this example, let's say with Amex, we're looking to book the same flight that's retailing for $1,205. If you're getting 1 cent per point, the easiest way to calculate it is to take the retail price of the flight and times it by 100 to see how many points you'd have to use for Amex. In this situation, the total would be just over 120,000 points. In this situation, there's no need to do a formula to calculate our cents per point because that value is already determined with Amex. The value that we're getting by using Amex points is slightly lower than the example with Sky Miles, so Sky Miles wins in this situation. But here's a third option that we're going to check out. Some bank points have the ability to move their points out of the bank and then into different airlines or hotels. These are called transfer partners. In the same way that some banks and airlines are transfer partners, some airlines are partnered with each other. We call these partnerships alliances. Because of these alliances, we can book a flight through one airline site, but flying on a different one. For example, Delta and Virgin Atlantic are both partners in the SkyTeam Alliance. Because of this partnership, we can book a Delta flight through Virgin Atlantic. The reason that this is advantageous for us is because most of the domestic airlines in the USA have significantly devalued the value of their points and miles. Back to our example. By transferring our points to Virgin Atlantic, we can see the exact same flight going for 12,000 points and $161. To calculate the value of our points in this redemption, we would take the retail price for a ticket and subtract the fees that we pay by booking on Virgin Atlantic, which was $161, and then we divide that number by the amount of points or miles used, which in this case is 12,000. We then take that number and we multiply it by 100, and we're left with 8.7. That's over 800% more value that you're getting by redeeming your points this way instead of the other two methods. This example is by no means a training to teach you how to do these kind of things. But this example illustrates what methods we can use to make our points worth more in our redemptions. The deeper we dive into this course, you'll soon start to realize that these points have a value. You'll start to feel like you're wasting them if you get anything lower than a certain cent per point on a redemption. Typically, a 100% increased value on a redemption is awesome, but when you can get so much more, why would you stop there?